Fighting for freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. The Patrick Riggins Show. Call in now at 865-243-8255. That's 243-TALK. And now your host, Patrick Riggins.
Welcome back to the Patrick Riggins Show. You know, if you guys aren't watching online, you really need to.
You really should.
Because it is very interesting what goes on in this studio. How, I guess that was a duo with me and Tori doing the background singers to the spinners.
No audio, just visual only.
Yeah, well, you know, we were lip syncing with the music, so that was working out. But if you want to watch that, it's at wnoxfm.com. Well, you can't watch it now. You'll just have to. I'm sure Tori will be doing something before the show's over. He's usually pretty good about that.
Behind your back, you'll never know.
Yeah, exactly. Bunning ears over my head. All right. Starting the second half of the Patrick Riggins Show. And I wanted to get back into this Ron Paul stuff just a little bit. Because for no other reason that what he's got to say is just so daggum logical. I was talking to one of the guys here at the station here, and we're talking about how we're just the Libertarian Party is almost waiting for a Reagan to come along. That how he talked about conservatism. We're waiting for this person, this whoever it is that's in the wings that's going to step up and be the person who sells this. Maybe I'll step up and do it. Maybe I'll run for office.
There you go.
Yeah, that'll happen. All right. Anyway, getting back into this, we were talking about trying to get the government turned around, and I've mentioned on this show before, when you're trying to do something like that, you are working against an institution of government that is supported by a number of diverse organizations, and Dr. Paul addresses that in this clip.
Sadly, many religious groups, secular organizations, and psychopathic authoritarians endorse government-initiated force to change the world. Even when the desired goals are well-intentioned, or especially when they're well-intentioned, the results are dismal. The good results sought never materialize. The new problems created require even more government force as a solution. The net result is institutionalizing government-initiated violence and morally justifying it on humanitarian grounds.
I love that. Psychopathic authoritarianism. And psychopathic authoritarians. So what we've done is we're creating a cycle of government solutions, creating more problems, calling for more government solutions, which creates more problems, etc., etc.
Government in a free society should have no authority to meddle in the social activities or the economic transactions of individuals, nor should government meddle in the affairs of other nations. All things peaceful, even when controversial, should be permitted.
This is what hangs a lot of people up. All things peaceful, even when controversial should be permitted.
The misunderstanding that tolerance is an endorsement of certain activity motivates many to legislate moral standards which should only be set by individuals making their own choices.
One of the biggest problems you are going to have in trying to correct your deficiencies in thinking about freedom and liberty is other people's freedom and liberty. You are going to have to remain vigilant in making sure you're not trying to impose your morals on others through law. Unfortunately, this is one of the big problems. Too many people want to tell others what to do, how to live. One of the biggest steps you can make towards becoming more free is allowing others to be free as well. Allowing other adults to make decisions you see as detrimental in their lives. These decisions may in fact be detrimental, or they may not be. But either way, you have to allow them to make those decisions for themselves. Now, you can offer advice. You can give your opinion. I do it on this show every week. But what you cannot do is impose your advice or opinions. That is where you cross the line. Now, what you may say, Patrick, they don't realize what they are doing, how they're hurting themselves. Hey, I understand that completely. But sometimes people have to trip and fall to learn things. And yes, sometimes people learn lessons too late. They end up killing themselves through their mistakes. As I said 2 weeks ago, this is the dark side of freedom. This is the racist, discriminatory underbelly of freedom. But it is still freedom. And when we start restricting it, we start down the road we are already too far down in this country.
To achieve liberty and peace, two powerful human emotions have to be overcome. Number one is envy, which leads to hate and class warfare. Number two is intolerance, which leads to bigoted and judgmental policies. These emotions must be replaced with a much better understanding of love, compassion, tolerance, and free market economics. Freedom, when understood, brings people together. When tried, freedom is popular.
You could say, by becoming more freedom and liberty minded, you are actually becoming more mature. You are growing as a person. You can look around and see most all the people wanting a government handout, wanting complete government care, are in their minds nothing more than children. I've stated as such on this show numerous times. So in overview, here is the problem in our government.
A government that pretends to protect liberty, but is granted power to arbitrarily use force over the people and foreign nations. Though the grant of power many times is meant to be small and limited, it inevitably metastasizes into an omnipotent political cancer. This is the problem for which the world has suffered throughout the ages.
This is what our founders knew. They knew these types of problems would crop up because they studied history. They know how humans acted unless restrained by a constitution, a written document specifying how much power one human or group of humans could have over another. They knew inevitably some people would work to take freedom from another, to give themselves power over others. Not always through militaristic methods, but sometimes through a type of passive-aggressive method of caring for others, for taking over the responsibility for another's care without their consent. Now, what would the ideal government be? Well, here it is.
A government designed to protect liberty is a natural right as its sole objective. The people are expected to care for themselves and reject the use of any force for interfering with another person's liberty. Government is given a strictly limited authority to enforce contracts, property ownerships, settle disputes, and defend against foreign aggression.
There you go. If you want to know what we should be working towards, there it is. Will it be an easy road? Nope. I wish it could be, but it isn't. Dr. Paul's use of the word cancer is appropriate here. The government is a cancer, eating away at what made this country great. And like a physical cancer, fighting it is going to take courage, will, and a determination to prevail. If you want some encouragement, it is this: we can prevail. Unlike physical cancer, we have total control over what is happening in this country. If enough people want to change things, we can. It's that simple. We don't have to take some medication, then hope and pray that it works. If we get enough people together and vote our ideals, things will change. That's all there is to it. But it is going to require that very solution, getting people convinced to vote and make the changes necessary. Now, on my end, I plan on having this radio show on the air until we achieve this, until we once again can breathe the fresh and invigorating air of freedom, when we have defeated this system that has been corrupted. All I ask of you is to help just a little bit in this fight. If there are enough of us, each one won't have to do much, because many hands make light work. If we all sit around and wait on one person to do everything, then it isn't going to get done. That is exactly why those who are big government types. They want you to believe your efforts yield nothing, that you're spinning your wheels. But don't listen to them. Listen to this show and get others to listen as well. It is almost like a church here each week. I guess it's a good thing we're here on Sunday afternoons. You can go to whatever church you want or even attend if you don't want. But each week, you need to tune into this show for your, I guess, church of freedom and liberty. So if someone asks you why you didn't go to see you at church on Sunday, you can tell them you were listening to it on the radio. And be sure and tell them to join us here as well. The more we have listening, the more people we have getting motivated towards liberty. All right, we're up on our break here, and the Patrick Reagan Show, I guess your weekly Sunday afternoon Church of Freedom and Liberty. Yeah. I'm talking freedom. I'm talking liberty. And the restoration of the Constitution. That's why I'm a talk show host and not a preacher. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.